It's getting there. Oh, we're live.
No, I don't think so. And I don't know. It is.
What do we want? LangTime. Now. Excellent. Oh, meow. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. That was good stuff.
That is amazing.
All right, then. We're going to talk about some things. Number one, despite the fact that it has been, I've tested negative for COVID and it's been a long time, I still don't feel well. So if you notice, I feel different or cough sometimes. That's why. It's still not great. Anyway, I think has it been like 3.5 months since our last LangTime Studio?
I mean, I thought it was going to be like 4 years or something. That's
Certainly.
what it feels like.
Certainly feels like that.
It feels like the last 2.5 weeks have been 4 years packed into 2.5 weeks, but like nothing happened in those 4 years.
I did a
also,
lot of work.
Graham is back.
I did a lot of work though. Oh, good. Oh,
and Mateus
Graham
is here.
Oh, fantastic, Graham. I'm so glad to hear that because obviously you've had a lot of work to do.
It's David's fault.
I should probably go and refresh this.
I need to say it's David's fault.
Yeah. Let's see.
But also, I saw the way you worded the poll for this week, and I feel like that was some dangerous wording.
Oh, you finally took a look at that, huh?
I did. Oops, sorry. That was me moving my water bottle.
Mm-hmm. There's like an entire little feast over here off camera.
I know, but like I'm trying to figure out where to put stuff so that way we can reach everything. Our desk only has so much space. And so I was trying to just scoot things around, a little scooch. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so for the poll, we had discussed, revisiting a previous poll where we had decided to retain the front rounded nasal vowel. That was the result of a previous poll. And I decided to ask our patrons to reconsider it and to go back to the merging of the two front nasalized vowels. I always put food on my laptop next to the mouse pad thingy in the middle. What, like you just have like a little veal cutlet that you just put next to you just set right on your laptop next to the mouse pad thingy? Like, do you have a little knife and fork and just a little squirt of ketchup maybe next to it? Oh, man. Anyway, so that was the poll, and I asked that. But I decided to add something to it, to kind of give the patrons some incentive for revisiting this poll, because it was just a 2-option poll, whether to actually merge these two now or not. And because with the poll then, if you elected to merge the front nasalized vowels, it came with a promise that Jesse and I would never seek to overturn the results of a patron poll again.
Which is very dangerous.
It was a juicy carrot to dangle to get what I wanted, damn cat language.
Which means you need to stop giving options in polls
that
don't fit in with your vision.
In other words, I need to just work harder. Yeah.
Yes.
And then, of course, the other option was to leave the 3 nasalized vowels distinct, but then we retain our divine rights to overturn and revisit future polls. Okay. All right. So that was the poll.
Oh, but Jonathan is saying that kind of backfired a little bit because
for him.
Didn't want this one overturned, but might want something in the future.
Yeah, no, Jonathan has been all in on this nasalized vowel.
Oh no, I know who voted for it.
We know, Jonathan. We know.
I know who voted for it, and not very many people did.
Okay.
80% of the votes came in to let's merge them.
And so they are merged. And so we won't overturn future patron polls. They become more powerful.
I'm just laughing at current David being all like, we've got this. This will never happen again. And next week you're going to be like, well, I just
you wait.
trapped myself.
Just you wait till we get to our dog language with no minimal pairs.
It's not happening.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Graham.
Graham has already merged them, but Graham didn't even know when we were going to merge them.
Nice. Graham knew. Graham knew. Because the results were rather telling. Like I said, like 80% of the votes.
Because here's the thing. This merger could happen very late in the game. Like,
oh, Graham put it last.
He did put it last. Oh, wow. Okay. Because if I recall correctly, let's come up with a form that would give us this zone, and then let's have a suffix ta.
I'm prepping our little feast here as I wait for...
You see? This is what happens if you put it last.
Okay.
Now compare that to this form. Huh?
Okay. Oh, because
Mm-hmm.
vowel harmony is getting
Is done.
messed up.
Well, basically, if the merger happens last,
Uh-huh.
then
Then it's harmonizing with something that's no longer there because it's been merged.
that's right.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey!
whose job is that?
Not on my list.
Not on your list?
But happy birthday, Davide.
Really?
Yeah, I totally looked. The next birthday I have is in July.
How about that?
Yeah, but it's going on the list now.
I keep forgetting about that David Jesse choice. Happy birthday, Davide. Okay, so, but yeah, so the point is this: if we have a very late merger with the front nasalized vowels, excuse me, then the roundedness will already have taken hold by the time vowel harmony happens. And so you will have certain words that have, an in them that take a afterwards, and others that take afterwards. Right?
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, also as a side note, in case anyone's wondering, we have a delicious bowl of grapes
Crap.
and pear pieces, slices. They're not quite slices, they're chunks. With some sharp white cheddar cheese.
Nice. This is an Asian pear, not a regular pear. I don't know if there's another name for it, but
The grocery store just labels them as Asian pears.
it's the difference is important because I don't like pears. I do like Asian pears.
It's almost like a jicama and a pear had a baby.
My God, I love jicama.
That's because this is the same consistency as jicama.
It is. Oh, wow. I never put those two things together.
You're welcome. Okay. I was feeling really hungry before the stream, and I was like, I'm not making it through 2 hours. So
Let's also take a look at.
I apologize that you guys are going to get to watch us eat.
Oh, that's interesting. With the low vowel, it's the same. Because there's no roundedness.
Right.
That's good. I mean, oh, I see what you're saying, Aquamelon. Yeah. Yeah, everything's listening to us.
It knows. But yeah, that is creepy. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, the whole point of bringing this up was to be like this.
I feel like you do.
I think it's interesting.
I think it is too.
We'll also have to decide where the writing system is going to happen.
Especially since the GHR merger, things like that,
Yeah.
could mean that they are spelled differently but pronounced the same.
Mm.
And same for this vowel merger.
Oh, Mateus. Poor guy. He basically missed everything.
Last week was a good week, yeah. We got, as David works on this, we figured out our 9 noun classes last week. Went with 9 just because, you know, it's cat language, fun. We decided there would be no plural forms, only singular. And we also came up with the 9 like proto-roots that would be the basis of the suffixes for the 9 noun classes. And yeah, so we have words now, and like we actually have some words. My drawing for this week kind of made an assumption that we would have some basic roots, like cat and mouse would just be cat and mouse. But they may be wrong. We may decide that that's not how we want to do it, and that something like moo would actually be the word for cat rather than just moo. And so like that is something that could change. But I was so excited to finally be able to write some cat language with the drawing that I went with it anyway. I also learned what a Condorcet vote was, hence the other drawing from this week.
That was one of the cutest you've ever done. Jonathan, did it have a, not a URL, but an interlinear? Because sometimes these things will misunderstand interlinears and they'll think that they're URLs and they won't let them in.
Also, and I hope you had fun, Mateus, and I hope the next day wasn't too cruel to you. Grandma's pointing out that spelling would indicate, like if it's older and things like the GH and R spelled differently, that would indicate whether nasalization spreads through it. Because, so that would actually be helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know what he means by interlinear either, Jonathan, but...
What are you talking about?
What do you mean by interlinear with trying to type messages here?
No. Well, first, do you know what an interlinear is? In linguistics?
It's a gloss?
Yes. And, you know, sometimes you do things like, you know...
Oh, like putting the dot...
Yeah, like... Noun,
accusative, okay.
Plural, whatever. And sometimes it thinks that that's an interlinear, and the filter here, it won't let you type URLs.
I need you to use interlinear gloss for that to work for me.
Are you new to conlanging? Or linguistics?
Brand new. Never heard of it. But otherwise, interlinear, I get a lot of other potential interpretations, so I was very confused.
Grendel, it's round.
Uh-huh. So apparently nashi?
Nashi, cool.
Well, that ellipsis went through, Jonathan. All right. So we have that written in.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, let's go
Do you
back.
want to show off our noun class table for Mateus?
Yeah, here we go. All right. So we have 9 official categories, and they are, in this order: cats, diminutive animates, so this is augmentative animates, softer, spongy things, harder, rough things for texture, Liquids, containers or houses. Tools, and things that are warm are abstract. And they all have suffixes. They will all have vowel harmony. We have 3 non-low, 3 non-high, and 3 nasalized, which is nice. And the cat one comes from the word for cat. Diminutive one comes from the word for mouse. Augmentative one comes from the word for dog. These are animates. The softer, spongy one comes from loam, which is cute. Hard or rough comes from rock. Liquid comes from water. And container or house comes from hole. Tool from paw. And warm abstract from fur, which I rather like.
Now, will this merger change the final one with that schwa? It's still the same, right? Like, that merger won't affect.
No, because what we have...
Because none of them are rounded.
These are... What we have written here are underspecified vowels. I've done that for the sake of convenience. I think I've demonstrated in a paper why you don't use, or why underspecified vowels are not good to use as a tool for conlanging. Giller would be the example. But basically, rather than writing, for example, that the suffix is going to be ka, or ke, or ko, or ka, you say that instead the suffix is going to be ka, and you're going to know which one it is based on what comes before.
I wanted him to use, by the way, an abbreviation for which chart to look at, but that didn't come through.
No. But we should write down somewhere what the underspecified vowels are. I don't know ultimately where this is going to go. I don't know if we're done with it. I think what we were doing last time is coming up with words for nouns. Mm-hmm. And seeing if there are any things we didn't like.
And that would definitely drop the N out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that would happen.
It happened with fur. We liked the idea of fur, and we needed it for verbal nouns and things like that.
Jake says nashi is just the Japanese word for pear, but sand pear.
That's really cool. I like the word for sand pear.
So what you were asking, what do we do from here? Is that what you were saying, or?
Yeah, I mean, we can create a bunch of nouns.
We can definitely do that, and obviously I'm on board with that. I would like to have some sort of decision made about how we're going to deal with the words here, the 9 words that are actually here. Like, do they have to be marked for their own class? Are there other nouns that don't get specifically marked for class because it's just like inherently built in as an understanding, so there isn't some sort of suffix to actually mark it? Like, so like I would like those decisions made. In part because, very selfishly, again, I want to be able to use more words in my drawings, and I would like for them to be as accurate as possible, even though it's early on and things can always change. So I would like that decision. The other thing I would like to talk about at some point is that I know that Giller had lots of cases, but I believe we had decided in this language there would only be like a select, I think, local cases or something.
Yeah, because we want the agreement to happen, and it's kind of silly to have case and agreement with the language like this. I have a theory. We could, since we have these modifiers coming first, there can be, a baby cat, and a mama cat, and a daddy cat, and then a cat. We were just talking about a regular cat. And this could be kind of the birth of the noun class system. which should mean the word for cat were duplicated.
So the word for a cat is mumu. Would that suggest that at that point, everything?
I don't know.
Graham likes the idea of a smallish class of nouns that don't overtly show their class.
Uh-huh.
And could nouns not be derived from verbs, or not derived from verbs be unmarked for class? And yeah, that's actually the question here, Miles, is like, are we going to do that? Because they can be in languages with noun classes. But the question is, are we going to do that? Oh, in French, perhaps the word for kitty is mimi, perhaps. That's what Jake is saying. All right. Obviously, Jonathan, you're right.
Even having proposed this, I'm not opposed to certain nouns not having, class markers. I just, this was just a thought I had about how it might have come to be.
I think it would work. So, but does that mean a baby cat would actually take the mouse marker?
Mm-mm.
Baby would just be another root?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more important that it's a cat than that it's a small one?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least for this. So this is the early stage,
Okay.
Because then there would also be a baby mouse, which would be a baby that isn't a cat.
Right.
That's not threatening.
So, in this case, then, we would have, like baby moo, mama moo, daddy moo, and moo moo.
Yeah.
We just need roots for those, though.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be all of them, though.
That does open up. I guess the question is, does that automatically mean all the other 9 nouns would be self-marked? Smiles is right, rock would be caca.
I know. No, that was the thing. I liked moo being cat just by itself, but
And water would be wee wee.
but I just thought this was a really, easy way to explain how the system came to be.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was going to happen eventually. This room is ruined now.
All right.
I'm glad it
David
was
will never
great.
be able to go on. So I want you to come to some decision. I'm going to get it. I think it's easier for me. No?
You'd think
Okay.
that, but no.
All right.
Everybody be
So
careful.
David dropped a grape and is attempting to lean down from a tall director chair to the floor. May or may not survive.
Should I eat this grape?
I'm going to leave that up to you.
Poll. Do I eat this grape?
All right. We're doing a live poll.
We have hardwood floors, or fake hardwood floors, that have a terrible texture. I hate these floors.
There we go.
I want it to look grainy. I don't want it to feel grainy, unless there are actual grains there.
Oh, and Jake says rock would actually be kachka.
Yeah. So Graham is saying do the full mixture. Some class roots are duplicated, others stay as just the root, others fall out of use and are replaced. Yeah, I like that.
And Alka is also pointing out that at some point moo could just be reduced to moo.
There's a precedent for yes, Jonathan says. And, but really though, I need to know what Bipleridian thinks. Will this destroy my reputation with him? Or is it, as I assumed, that he only comes here to mock me? Like, is there a secret channel that only his members can view where he just watches our videos and makes fun of us the whole time? I assume.
Like Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
What? Miles? What?
They're a fruit, Miles.
Wow, Jake is right. March those vowels.
How many votes have we got?
17 votes, or 18 now. It's very much yes. So if you want to blow it off or brush it off.
Well, actually, we didn't do a poll on that, but I'll go ahead and give it a light brush.
All right, we're ending the poll. The Bib Reacts channel. Oh my god, that would be amazing.
I'm going to try to eat another grape.
Yeah, don't throw them.
No.
Okay. If David falls backwards out of his chair or something, I hold you all personally responsible.
Jake, it is so charming that you think that we are your peers.
That is so rude.
I know. That
Okay,
was
now you
terrible.
deserve to fall out of the chair.
That's all right. That's all right. It's going to show up on, Bib Floridian's top 10. It's like top 10 LangTime gaps of the week.
That's it.
It's a recap show.
This is where David is literally eating the grape of despair.
Yeah,
No, the grape of wrath.
I always want to come through it at number one because, you get the number one gap most of the time.
I'm going to knock your chair over.
Oh.
All right, I also want to say, when I drop a grape, you're eating that one too.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so Miles is not a fruit eater. It's a texture thing.
But they all have wildly different textures.
Happens. Poll, should I knock your chair over? I'm not going to put that poll up because I know what way it would go. And I'm actually not capable of knocking you over knowing that you would very likely be hurt.
Yeah.
He's been demoted to talk. You used to be a cat. Now. All right. Oh, no. Clementines and oranges do not taste the same. I agree, Magpie. All right. Let's get on it.
I'm just trying to imagine this world of Matisse where he goes about drinking beer and then eating these rich dinners with like heated fruits. Like,
You do realize we had heated fruits the other night for dinner.
I know, and it's a very unusual thing that you did.
Okay, so I make a dish that's roasted Brussels sprouts and grapes. And the first time I mentioned I was going to make it, David was like, what? You cook the grapes? And he was so not on board. And then he either likes it or puts up with it because it's Aaron's favorite dish. So one of the two, he eats it a lot.
The first time that I ever saw that was in Germany. And then just south in Switzerland because we were right on the border. And they were like, I ordered this gnocchi, and the gnocchi came, and they had a bunch of grapes that looked exactly like this, just cut in half, and they just put them on the plate. They weren't cooked. They were just put on there like a garnish. I'm like, what is this? And so it's like I tried them together, and they just tasted like I was eating a gnocchi and also a grape. It was just very strange. And the only explanation I got from anybody, it's like, oh, it could be because it's like the Hunter's Month. And I was like, how does that explain anything? Just put a bunch of random grapes on stuff.
Fair enough, Matisse. Okay. Apples taste really good diced up into salads, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So are we happy with cat being reduplicated? Moo.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I just didn't know what. Wait, do we want to keep it reduplicated, or do we want to, discuss like all said? Eventually, it could just be like, let's drop the moo because we know it's a moo.
Well, we were gonna. It was gonna be on a case by case basis.
Okay.
So, like, for example, I think that rock should just be koch.
Okay.
Assuming that that's how it comes out.
It's actually already. Oh, I touched the screen. I'm sorry. It's up here under lam.
Yeah, koch. Okay.
Did I leave a fingerprint? I think I did.
No, but I think you left a fingerprint.
Oh no, I made it worse. I'll fix it later. I don't have a thing.
Darn Missourians.
Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and make the list of what's going to be what, because again, this is going to help me
Okay.
in my tries.
Here are our words. So, this one's just going to be nothing happens to it. And so, there we go.
I think water also should just be.
And this officially is not going to be a suffix. It's going to be reduplication. All right?
Which gives birth to something that becomes a suffix.
Right.
And that's the correct form, right? Like the W's wouldn't change anything.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't do this with the. Well, no. Yeah. You know, it's funny. We actually do have a skeleton of a velociraptor. And you'd be surprised, they make noise. It actually look like this. That's right. Velociraptors were just goats wearing coats.
But now I see why Dark Horse asked. I was like, why? Why? That's just a really random question. Jurassic Park scene that I've totally forgotten about because I haven't seen Jurassic Park since high school. And that's been a year or two since I've been in high school.
Like the first movie?
Yeah.
Why not?
Saw it once.
I mean, it came out before we were in high school. Is that how long it took to get to Missouri? Is it like the...
That chair pushing pole's really gonna go up soon.
Was it the nickel feature at the Piggly Wiggly?
No, I have problems with gore. Jurassic Park is like dinosaurs eating people.
Yeah, but it was intended for a PG-13 audience.
Well, I needed to make sure I hit the 13 before I saw it. But, okay, so now we have rock and cat. We have 7 more to go through. I vote that water is just water.
Well, I vote for a replacement for water.
What? What do you mean?
I think the word is too small. And, I'd like to propose something a little bizarre. Most of the time we don't need a word for water. Most of the time when you're doing stuff with water, it's going to appear in object position. And we could just have the basic interpretation of that be that the liquid is water. So unless it's some other liquid, then you put it down. You know, it's kind of like when you say what's that thing in German where it's like when you learn it, it's like that's not how we say it in English, and it's confusing a little bit.
I feel, oh no, Mateus. I feel like you think you're making sense.
I know, like ich will ein Bier. You can say that, but that translates to I want a beer in English, which is fine. But it's like where you can just use can without a verb or something.
Old English could do that.
Well,
And Middle English to some extent, depending on dialect and year.
I never studied those though. I studied German. Now, what's the thing that you can do in German with that?
I don't know if you...
We got some German people, speakers here. You know, what's that thing? You know?
Or you could say like, ich kann English, where it's like...
That's it!
Okay.
Yes, and it means I can speak English. Right?
But like, I think they're more likely to use kennen than...
Well, that's how you know English.
Right.
That's a different thing. Oh, man. Well, it's this weird thing where you can drop a verb that you think is just undroppable in English, but you can drop it in German and they just assume it. And they assume correctly which verb it is.
'Cause I know...
Here we go. Eigo dekimasu. So eigo is the word for English, and dekimasu is something. I don't know what it is. Deki is the verb part, and masu is the it's the auxiliary that became and reinterpreted as politeness thing.
But someone who speaks German way better than me, can you still say, like...
Thank you.
Ich kann English. For I can speak English.
Eigo dekimasu. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, Mateus.
Look at all this. See? All right. So it's just you just drop the thing because you assume that it can do what it can do. Anyway, so I'm thinking here, we rarely need a word for water.
Because
And
cats
so-
don't like water.
And so, well, yeah, but also it's just like if we got marking for object, indirect object, and direct object, you don't need it most of the time. It would only show up in the local cases. There could actually be a split in this lexeme, so that when it's used in the non-local cases, it's one word, and when it's used in the local cases, it's we with whatever suffix ends up on the end there.
Okay.
And so
Also, I need to, or you, one of us,
uh-huh.
should put the link to that cute video that you sent me of the little kitten drinking, or
Yeah.
accidentally drinking water. It's very cute.
I like that idea. Okay.
I'm gonna leave it up to you to write
So,
that idea out so that
well,
that way it's documented.
we're not done with it yet. We need to come up with this word. So, ideas for a new word for water would be like lake, river, spring, rain. Those are other sources of water. Waterfall. Or a distinction like Miles is talking about standing water versus running water. So, for example, the word for water could be the old word for running water with no suffix. And then when running water is used with a suffix, it means river.
Like a case suffix?
No, with one of these, it'd mean river. And with liquid, it could mean river water. And then with like container house, it could be river.
Okay.
I think I like this, and I ask your permission to do this.
Go for it.
Okay, so here, but I will kind of write down what I'm going through here. So I'm going to come up with something, and it's going to mean running water. You have to come up with something else. That means standing water, eventually. And then it is going to immediately be that, and it's going to mean water. But with this proviso, which I will abbreviate thus, in...
Is it really pronounced proviso?
What would you say?
Proviso?
Oh, how very European of you.
It is proviso. Interesting.
Yeah, we fully Americanized it, which seems so strange to me.
Interesting. Okay, moving forward.
Have
With that proviso.
Have I ever talked about this with you or with others, how it just seems fake to me, that like a totally fake thing, that we've decided I is the diphthong I, and we use it everywhere, including in words like iron. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It seems totally fake. It seems like something a conlanger would make up that you'd roll your eyes at. It's like, sure, that's pronounced I everywhere. Like, the most perverse versions of this are like, for example, there's a sports commentator whose name is Ian Eagle. I-A-N. Ian. He says, my name is Ian.
That's a choice.
And like ion, for example, like all that stuff that comes from Greek, all the science terms, all these long eyes, it's just silly. Anyway.
But Jake is asking a good question.
Yeah, I remember that.
I believe a proviso would be an abstract thing.
I have no idea if there are hot springs in Canada. We need our expert on Canadian culture and geology, which of course would be Biblaridian, but he's left us in the lurch. That's right. Abby comes Sky Crew. So yeah, I forget, did I tell you about that? I got rid of the diphthongs ow and I in my original conception for Trigetta slang because I thought they were on the way out anyway.
They made you bring it back.
They made me bring it back. Because they're like, people need to be able to understand it. Like, anyway. Should have been lack, not like. Whatever. Okay. In local cases.
Southerners would still say lack.
That's right. And these are the people that are coming out of Virginia.
Yeah, they would have said lack.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway. There are hot springs in Canada. Over on the west side. Yeah. I would think it took a lot of intermediate stages because the whole E and then I, it is very interesting how they, same with oo going to ow, right? Like how they shifted. And they got all GBS as it's known.
Mm-hmm. It's English, of course they're going to call it great.
It wasn't great, it wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, there we go. See? So, in local cases. All right. Then we have this. And so then we have plus, and then that becomes
running water.
river water
River.
/ running
Okay.
water. You're right. Yes. And then I want to know if I'm thinking of, if I have this right, if I'm thinking the right way, that this would be river.
Because it's contained water.
Because it's, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then
you might be able to do hard or rough with rapids, you know.
And then the same thing, standing water with the container house class could be like sea or lake, like something that doesn't move but is a big body of water.
Mm-hmm. This can be a swamp.
Do they have swamps?
Oh, sure. Everybody's got marshes or swamps or something, right?
Bayous?
Lagoons.
That would be something else.
Mm-hmm. This is pond, lake.
Also, Logan finally made it. So hey to Logan.
Huh. Oh, that was a while back.
Well, it was up on earlier on the screen, but we were talking and I didn't want to like interrupt the work here.
Marsh, swamp. See, I like the way this is going. Myself. I'm very happy with it. Oh, Miles, goodbye.
Bye, Miles.
Try to have a grape once, just so you know what it's like. And if you do decide to do it, ask me about which grapes, because I have opinions.
Well, apparently lagoon is used differently in different parts of America,
Yeah.
which David and I use it differently. And
Is it the type of thing where, like, you know how in England everybody was laughing at The Last Airbender, right? And how all of them are benders?
oh, because
Yeah, because it's a slang term. Is this what people from Missouri thought when the movie The Creature from the Black Lagoon came out?
I mean, it's not a very good place to be from, is it?
No.
I will say when I was younger and saw it's the Brooke Shields movie, the Blue Lagoon one.
Uh-huh.
I was very confused because I
Yeah.
was like, why the lagoon would be blue or whatever. Anyway.
Lagoon is a cool word, so don't ever find out what Jesse means by it. And yeah.
And then dirt plus liquid could be mud.
Yeah, that one's low hanging fruit there, but let's write it down so we don't forget it. Yeah, that's what you think, but there's like a whole other language that happens in the middle of America that they don't tell anybody about. It's here are these words that you never even heard of, like.
Okay, Violet. Okay. We may be on the
Yeah.
same page.
Maybe from the same place. What are we doing? Water.
Water plus liquid. No, or sorry, dirt plus
Yeah.
liquid is mud. Farming or country living related? River Blossom English. Yes.
So there you go, Jonathan, except they don't use the first word. They just call it lagoon.
It's a lagoon.
Uh-huh.
When you got a lagoon in the woods, you don't go close to it unless you have to. Ooh, riverish.
Okay. We got some things to think. Riverish. Yeah. All right. So we got 3 roots to come up with.
Yes.
Running water, standing water, and dirt. So,
I've forgotten all of the.
Oh, we got some Q's, we got some R's, you know, I don't know. What you know what, for running water, that should probably be a little bit onomatopoeic, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a sh, grammar in the proto stage.
No, we don't.
We don't even have even close to it. We got a ya, we got a s.
We could do a sia, sia.
Um,
And that's obviously that vowel, sia.
we can't have two vowels next to each other, I don't think.
Even in different syllables. 2 syllable, sia.
Come on, man.
Oh, man. Be like, I don't know. You come up with something. I'm trying.
What do you think it should have, a coda?
Let's see. We have J. Say si.
So.
So.
We could have an H, we
Sa.
have so.
Water shouldn't be running unless it's being chased. Kula. Oh, that was okay. Say si. Oh, wait. Do we have that diphthong? Do we have that ability?
No.
Okay, so it would have to be a J.
Yeah.
So the J is actually the
Oh, that's the one leftover thing we gotta do.
Susa. Are any of these piquing your interest?
I am piqued most by monosyllabic roots at this stage. So, for example, this could be one. Ah! Yeah, look at that.
Get a diphthong in there.
Yeah,
What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty cool.
Then let's do it. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot I brought my coffee up here. Now it's just warm coffee. Less than warm. That is so sad.
I can't believe we ate all them things. And then, all right, now let's look how this would be. Why did that happen? Oh, because it wasn't a Z, it was an S. Then the S just became a Z.
Because it's voiced.
Sorry, my bad. Let me fix that. All right. And then let's do, oh, that should be fine. And that should be fine.
Sensible. Sensible.
What do we think about that?
Graham.
So, initially I was like treating this just like German, remember? Where you can have this TS next to a bunch of voice stuff because they don't think of it that way. I mean, of course they do. So like...
Sensible. Sorry, I'm loving the puns.
Sightsful. I mean, that's pretty clear, right?
Sensible.
Yeah, is that correct? I mean, I shouldn't be the one asking that because I'm sure it is. Back. Yeah, it's just... Yeah.
You have 2 options.
Yeah, they're both rounded. All right, got it. I like that. Okay, so then...
But this is the same question from up above for burrow. Litzbe.
Ah, that's right. And we liked it there, so we like it here. Sightsbon. Sightsbon is a word for river.
Sensible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
All right. Okay. And let's ask ourselves, let's take a little phonological detour here. Versus okay. Let's look at these 4 words. The bottom 2 are exactly what should happen, right? Though I have to say I find this a little interesting. Oh, because it's in a root. Whatever. Here. Let's do this. There we go.
Okay.
All right. And so right now, essentially what is happening is that the N is just disappearing. I don't even know how.
Because geminates are reduced.
So okay, that's what happens. It
At the
stays
end.
all the way to the end, and yeah, geminate simplification. How about that? Interesting. So, the question is, do we want to make these nasalized in some way? Sign becoming sign. Sound, sign becoming sign. Sound becoming song. I don't know. And if they're going to become nasalized, then what?
Then what?
Like what exactly would they become?
Could they just, be nasal diphthongs?
We don't have any nasalized vowels that are not mid.
Right. So if it were just S-A-N-N-O, it would just be sono, not nasalized?
Oh, no, that would become O.
Because it would pull it to sono?
Yeah.
Okay. So should diphthongs be immune to that because they're diphthongs, therefore treated specially? Or
Yeah. It seems unlikely that with our sound changes, that basically just because it happens to come after a diphthong, the N should stay. Because the whole reason that the N is leaving is because the N is weak. So it seems weird that something more powerful to its left would cause it to become stronger.
But even if if we decide though not to have anything happen to the diphthong because it's stronger, whether it gets deleted out here at the end stage with the geminate simplification, does it matter?
If you're looking at like a computer program, no. But if you're looking at it like a language, yeah. Yeah, it does. Because the nasal codas, they need to go away right here. Like this whole, it shouldn't survive this. The question is just what happens to the diphthongs.
So we have two obvious options that I see. One is like, what Graham is suggesting, that we nasalize them and actually make them part of the 18, like add them into that equation. Or in number 19, say nasal codas were lost, resulting in nasalized vowels, or simply just lost when they occurred after a diphthong.
Okay. So then, the options are, we have some sort of prenasal neutralization for the diphthongs that are going to stay everywhere else, but it's the nasal coda is such a detrimental influence that it changes those just in that instance. And then presumably they're going to become one of these, and then we'll just get nasalized and replaced. Or the diphthongs are so big and so powerful that when the nasal codas are lost, they are lost without a trace. So that's the question. Basically, what you're deciding is, are the nasal codas so unbelievably powerful in their effect on a preceding vowel that they're going to change the quality of the diphthong, or are the diphthongs so powerful that when the nasals try, they fail and simply die?
Ugh, I'm having a hard time wording this where it'll fit.
Yeah.
Okay. Rule number 18. Oh, I'm over. Okay.
I tell you,
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
this headache I have feels like a book. I've never had one like this. It's like it feels like a novel.
Sounds neutralize like other vowels, or there we go. Okay. I think I got it.
Here we go.
There we go.
Biblaridian's just laughing it up because he's just saying, well, obviously it should be this third option.
Right is right. That's interesting, Cupcake Braid. I have no idea. Oh, wow. Right off the bat. Split. Oh, now it's starting to move.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely not like a definite
Yeah.
strong decision. It is indeed.
Hey,
very
it's
sleepy.
George. Hi, George. How's your life?
Oh my. As we get close to the end of the poll, it just flip-flopped.
Wow. I hope George is doing well.
I hope so too. All right, so like last two voters, you could sway this thing. So I'm trying.
Oh my God, it's tied.
shoot. And we have the same number of votes and viewers.
Holy
Okay.
smoke. This is really something.
All right, I'm gonna end it 'cause we are.
You're gonna end it?
No, let it go. Even though that just means someone's gonna sign in from another account.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess just end it.
I have not heard of the holiday of Leon.
King of Leon. Alright, go ahead.
So yeah, we have the same number of what I have as viewers and votes, and it's a 50-50 split.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a Jesse Jones. What's your Jones? What are you jonesing for?
Can Mateus. That's awesome. I would like to see how the forms would differ in terms of where you would propose, like where would I and ow go? Ow. I can't do that one very well. In terms of like, would the I just end up being a nasal eh and ow being nasal on? Is that?
I mean, eventually they would be one or the other of them. I just don't know which is which. The reason they were sticking was because they were mismatches. Back vowel, front diphthong, front diphthong, back vowel.
And so we're looking. Can you go back to the Lexergy screen? So we're looking at these top options are either going to be sino, saone, saone, or they're going to be something like, and I may have this wrong, but just kind of playing it out, seno, sone, and then they would all nasalize.
Yeah.
Oh, it's also though, is it blocking vowel? No, it's not blocking vowel harmony, but it would change it because then it would end up being like sono because it would be harmonizing with whatever's there.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, on the one hand, I know you do love some good root changes that are on the surface unpredictable, and it would give some homonyms in the language, like sono could come from multiple locations. On the other hand, it would also be killing diphthongs in more locations, and you would be happy with that. This is your language in terms of first name on the document. Okay, I think I'm leaning towards neutralizing the diphthongs.
I was leaning the other way.
Good. I was too, but I was trying to think about what you would want for a cat language.
He's very kind of you.
I think the easier thing is to say the diphthongs stay, and it's just sino and saone.
All right. Resulting in nasalized vowels next to monophthongs. I got it. But they did not affect the two mighty diphthongs. I and A, L. Okay. And instead, the nasal codas were simply lost after diphthongs. Okay, so then the upshot of it is it's not any different from what we see in Lexergy, but that'll just need to be added to the rule earlier just to make it completely reflect this.
Awesome.
So I think that we have done something that is worthy of celebration.
Ooh! Did you almost fell on yourself.
And the appropriate way to do that is celebrate with Copico.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Yeah, this one's a little busty too. Copico, when nothing else will do. Oh my god.
Okay.
I love it.
So now we need 2 more roots.
All right, here we go. Standing water. There's nothing onomatopoeic about that. Just do whatever.
Kopiko, it's better than a grape you got off the floor. Oh. Alright. Let's see. Standing water.
Mm-hmm.
It's like meh. Oh, we can have some fun and make it meh. Meh. Like the French word for sea.
Wait, mer?
Mer. Yeah.
Because it's
Mer.
it's not a fricative. It's a
Not
trill.
only can I not do that without kopiko in my mouth, but I have kopiko in my mouth, and I'm afraid that trying will cause me to choke on the kopiko.
Just put it to the side. Mer.
I am so proud of you for being able to do that. Now, can you please type it in?
I instructed you. I was trying to help you. Now listen, Jessie May. Yeah, that's what she said. It wasn't what she was trying to say, but it's what she said. Well, now this seems unusual, if not impossible. This vowel. What? Oh wait, is it because it goes to e and then e goes to a?
Because the uvular brings it down.
Yeah, I think that's right.
The liquid.
No, but it's that the e goes to a. It's a mid-vowel spread.
Right, but I thought it was the uvular that brought it down a step. It was the liquid that brought it down a step. Okay, so how do you feel about that?
Yeah, fine. Now let's do these guys. Lamb and bun. Ooh!
Male. Ooh, malin.
Malin and Marbin.
Why was the geminate not killed?
We like Geminis. Right? We like Geminis.
I thought geminates were killed at the very end. Like the last thing before the nasal. When following a consonant.
Yeah, so it's not everywhere.
Gotcha. Go on.
And so that's why the geminate disappeared for sound no, because it was S-A-W-N-N. That's why I simplified.
Okay. Okay, so that leaves us with, what are our words again?
What?
What are our words again? Mal, I think it was M-A-M-Ash-Mal.
Yeah. Can we get to your channel just by pressing on your name, Dark Horse?
And then that one was
Mer. That's cool.
Excellent.
All right.
So now we need some dirt.
Dirt.
Waiting to see if people put forms in chat. And go for one syllable for now.
Maybe that's why I thought of Alice in Chains as dirt.
I don't get the connection.
It was their big album, Dirt.
Oh, okay.
I really didn't like any of the aesthetic related to Alice in Chains, but that guy was a fantastic singer, and they just had the most bizarre harmonies I've ever heard in popular music.
How about Kobe or he?
Yeah, Coben. And Silvertails. Corn. Which also reminds you of Alice in Chains. Let's see what kind of these look like. We're going to have this with a W. Okay. Uh-oh. All right.
All right, let's see what happens.
Kubwu, Hiwi, Kao,
Oh,
Taiwan. Those are
from mud.
Those are four very, very different words. I want to do a poll. This is just like, wow.
Oops, wrong thing. All right.
All right.
This would be Khiiwi.
Yeah.
GGHWO. And
Yeah.
all right, here we go.
And again, these are from top to bottom because the stress is on the first syllable. Kubwu, Hiwi, Kawo, Taiwan. I mean, this is the word for mud, though. I mean, it's not like it needs to be beautiful. None of these words need to be beautiful. I mean...
Beauty is in the ear of the beholder.
Yeah. We're shaping the aesthetic of this language on the fly.
That was some good Kopika.
Mm-hmm.
So based on votes to viewers, I think we have a clear preference. Because we've only got like potentially 2 or 3 more votes outstanding, and Taiwan is right there at 45.
Well done, Jake. Well done there.
That is something.
Yeah, this word won't be used very often, except that now I'm going to have to find ways to use it.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'm going to end because we only have like 1 more vote outstanding and there's no way it could be flipped.
Yeah. All right.
Treachery and doom.
Oh, man.
Okay, Dark Horse. Oh, I think Graham is on it though. Dark Horse thinks they found a lexicon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what must Bibbleridian have been thinking as he sipped his mead from his goblet?
That's not how you hold a goblet.
Oh, you haven't seen his goblet. It's kind of like, the Stanley Cup, so it's like it's got this huge
So wouldn't
barrel.
it then be held like
And
this
then it's
at
got
that
the little
point?
thing that he can put between his fingers, and then it goes down here, and then it spreads out huge again. It weighs at least 90 pounds.
Hey, but he can lift it one-handed.
That's right.
Like, I think of goblets as having a thick stem, which I would think would make it too difficult to hold without hurting your hand.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Dark horse, what that means, it's not an error. It means that there are no sound changes that applied. So in other words, it looks exactly the same as its protoform. That happens from time to time. And so it does look odd, but it just means that none of the sound changes applied, and so you get what you put in.
I do. Oh, okay. And then the ash we're doing as an umlauted A.
Yes.
Okay. Because I think those are the only things left in the Romanizer that aren't there at the end are some of these things. And so some of these decisions for me.
All right. So here's the wonderful thing about this language. I know that we spent a lot of episodes working on the phonology, but we have gotten to this point where basically you just sit here and create a bunch of words like forever. And you see how easy it is. Look at how many words, like actual done words, we have now compared to other languages at this stage, right? So we can just keep on going on creating nouns, but what we should do is we should move on to other elements of grammar.
We still haven't done what I have requested.
That will take too long.
My gosh. Okay.
Like, are you serious? We've done some of these. You want to do every single one?
Well, I'm just curious how many of them are going to be, because you said it's going to be hit and miss, whether it's just going to be like the word for mouse is the word for mouse, or whether it has to be marked. Like, is it "tsi" going to be the word for mouse, or is it going to be "tsitsi"?
I think it's going to be tsitsi because it's cuter. And I
Okay,
think
what about dog?
it's probably just going to be rach.
Okay. So this was just all I wanted, so that way I...
But we need to move on.
Fine.
I
Fine.
mean, like, you want to
We're
do that
moving on.
for every single one? Like,
We are moving on.
oh my goodness. Here, let's just make sure that there's no... All right. Let's do that. There.
We already have these.
We do?
Yeah, they've already been typed in.
Well, here, I'm going to
And so these
type
are our...
something else in. There. There. Where's dog? Yeah, dog doesn't change. See, and that's why there's no arrow. So this is a nice example. Dark horse. See, none of the sound changes applied, so it didn't need to do anything. So there's dog, and then where's the tsetse fly? Where is it? You said it was here.
It was until you took it away earlier.
Where is it?
You took it away because you took off the top lines.
All right. There, we'll write those for you. Unbelievable.
You spent that entire time on water. I just wanted to know.
That was creating stuff. This is just, you know,
What?
just like confirming. That's all this is. It's confirming. We're spending time confirming
How would
things.
I know that
Confirming
mouse was going to be
details.
tsetse?
Because it's cute, and it's supposed to be cute. I don't know. It's just...
This is So what happens when you make decisions in your head but don't tell the people you're working with?
But it didn't even need to be a decision. It's just a thing. It's just a thing.
Oh, David.
But like, we can just do this forever, though. Like, okay, all right.
Silvertail, you're right. Oh, and I'm glad to hear that, Slushy-Yashi. Making conlanging accessible. Not when it's all in your head, though.
Look.
You gotta, like, communicate.
Yeah. We're gonna do all of your nouns, okay?
We only have a couple more left. It's like 4. We already made a decision about rock. Loam.
I think this is just going to be a word that
Fur.
gets lost.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right.
And so, ooh, the new word for loam could be dirt loam.
Sure. I think that's a good idea. Let's do
Okay.
that. Let's do that. Here, we'll do it right here. And then we'll just say that we'll make a little note that lamb, loam on the lamb. There we go.
It's actually without a B.
What?
Yeah, it's lamb without a B for on the run.
Seriously?
I am serious.
Is that a word?
It's on the lamb.
Is it a word? Like, help me look that up for me.
Right, see? Right here. Escape, flee, lamb. On the lamb.
We'd better lamb? You've got to be kidding me.
And then here's on the lamb.
Okay, can we look it up on a real dictionary? Go to Wiktionary. I want to see
What
where it
the
came
heck? This is the new Oxford American
from.
Dictionary.
It doesn't have any etymological information.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's what that's going to be, but I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
Apparently it also means to beat or thrash. To flee or run away. Flight, escape. Like, I don't know what you want.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, look what came from it.
Lambast? Huh.
Which I of course say lambast.
Hold on a sec.
Means to bash, hit.
Lame. It comes from the word that gave us lame. That means lame as in weak or broken.
So anyway, but you believe me now, I guess, that
No.
you spelled it wrong.
I have a feeling that Bibleridian for his real job just like creates biologies. And when I say that, I want you to understand what I mean. I think he creates entirely new disciplines of biology, like new versions of it. Like the biology you study in high school, that's old biology. He's created like 7 new biologies at this point. And they have a whole bunch of different words.
As he should.
That's what I think he does.
Okay. Now we can move on to cases. I have enough.
Oh, really? You don't care about these 3?
I mean, I do, but like, I feel like you're ready to move on, and I want you in a happier mood, and you're like,
I think that this one shouldn't be a root anymore, and that instead the only words that are going to exist now are like a word for like, like top or whatever, like torso versus lower half, and you put that in front, and that'll refer to these paws or those paws.
oh, nice.
Okay. So let's write that. Yar.
Jake says when you click on the Middle English lamen, it takes you to lamen, commonly spelled ramen.
Huh. That's unfortunately clicked thing. Or Okay, and this was paw. It's also on the lamb.
Yes.
And then we'll just make a note of this.
For whenever we actually create.
Torso slash front slash top or something. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Which becomes paw.
Front paw. And then bottom half. Bottom. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, why.
Yeah. Back paw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which technically, do you want to put like front paw slash hands? Back paw slash feet? Because
Yes.
at that point they're standing. And so this would be hand and foot.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Cool.
Okay. Do you want to keep going with the other two? Do you want to get onto cases so that way we can get close to making a poll decision?
That's all right. I think that ben, the old word for whole, should be the new word for home.
Oh, that's nice.
And just by itself, very small, it's a nice word.
I like that.
All right.
Oh, what just
Sorry.
happened there?
Huh. Look at that.
What are you pressing?
Command and then these two.
What?
Look at that. Huh.
Second, I'll get in a different document so I don't mess you up.
I go above or something.
Okay, that must be something.
No, command.
I did that.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, it does nothing for me. Like that you don't trust me to know command. Does it have to be like on a different keyboard? No. Oh. Okay, so it works on a different keyboard. It doesn't work in the conlangery.
Oh. The new one. Because this one has the old one. And you can see
Oh, no. It works. It's the other. I was hitting this one.
Oh, yeah. That
It's
goes
the
back.
closed.
That goes back. See?
Okay. Okay, so what we're pressing for all Mac users, I don't know if this will work on other people, is
Here, I'll show
command and the right square bracket, the closing square bracket.
Trust me, that's command on this
Indents.
keyboard. And then these two. Those guys there. This is actually a Microsoft keyboard because I found it is the most comfortable keyboard for me to work with. I had a lot of problems with my wrists, and putting this in my lap does it. I love it. I don't use Microsoft for anything, but their keyboards are just outstanding. The one I had before this was my favorite keyboard, and then they changed it. I was like, they changed it. And I was like, oh wow, they made it even better. It's just wonderful. All right, so we've got everything but fur.
I actually,
Yeah,
question for you.
yeah.
Would you like the idea that fur no longer gets used, it's also on the lamb, and you now have to mark it with the container one to mean like fur, so it's like you're outside.
Your fursuit
Yeah,
for your fursona.
you went there, but okay.
Oh, I did?
You're the one who just went there. I just thought
Yeah, I was actually thinking along the lines of what Jake was thinking.
just reduplication.
Yeah, it's interesting that it comes out differently. Yeah, look, check it out. I don't know why it comes out like that, but it doesn't come out as a complete reduplication. Voice in assimilation. Apply glottal deletion. Apply nasalization because it's no longer
A coda.
a coda.
Nice. I actually like that.
Like Hema.
Yeah.
All right. All right. That was also a nice idea, though, the fursuit, like that. It's something that we can explore, if you'd like.
Oh my gosh.
All right. All right, there you go. All done. All done.
Oh, Silvertail is suggesting fur plus container could be clothing. This is your fursuit. Okay,
Oh.
thank you.
You know what? That's really good, actually. You want to just do that?
Yeah.
All right.
Because now, again, so many things I can draw, and this makes me happy.
Yeah.
But it has to be a cat wearing a muumuu.
Verb plus. Yes.
This is why we aren't peers, David. Oh my gosh.
What was it again?
Fur
Plus
so
container, Ben.
Plus.
Verb plus container. Got it. And now on to the next page.
And that should just be, yeah, okay. Hey there.
I think. I said, hey, baby. I lose it. I think so. Out of curiosity. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And Matisse is asking, do they wear clothing when super evolved? And I believe so.
And Jake says the rabbits wear writing mittens.
As they should. Okay, so
Yeah.
now let's talk cases.
Yeah, with our 21 minutes left.
You know what? You could be a better sport.
It's gonna have to end up being. You're right. I could. It's gonna have to end up being the patron poll. This is the difficult thing. Okay, let me just try to write this out so everybody can see what we are dealing with here. So I'm gonna do this in the form of a table. Not cases. Nominative, accusative, dative. Cases. Genitive slash possessive slash construct slash possessed, whatever. And then cases. All right. And this is where we have to decide what we're going to do. So, locative. So let's come up with different potential strategies here. I'm going to do.
Do you know that if you just put your cursor, never mind.
All right.
If your cursor were just in that, you just hit tab and it would automatically create another row behind it. Like if you're in the bottom cell, it'll just keep creating rows.
Dang. No, I didn't know that. Man, we're learning so much about the Mac OS.
The gessive and the dative.
Gessive. No. Okay, so we got full, essive, lative series. That's a potential. I'm going to put that one down there.
Partial.
Partial. And then locative plus gadgets.
When you say plus gadgets, you mean like instrumental?
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Okay. If we didn't,
So here's one option. Toward, or I'm sorry, no, that's not what we want. We want relative toward less definite, some kind. Negative. Okay, and then belly. Wait a minute, no, this is an essive. This could be illative. No, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Never mind. It makes, you know what? It makes more sense to start with the, the provocative. That's so difficult.
it makes more sense to start with what?
The nouns. But you can't start with the nouns if you don't really have a genitive.
But you want these to be suffixes, yeah, where they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man. So, one simple solution is to be like, so we can have, you know, locative, allative, towards the locative.
Sassafrassive. I like that one.
And then massive, relative, towards the
Inessive just means inside, right?
yeah. That's one little option. You can have no, so Jake, this was Jeeler. With the cat, the plan was minimal local cases. Because this wasn't going to be supportable with the noun classes. You can do this, but without the noun classes. It's got to be without the noun classes. There's just too much junk on there. It ends up looking fake. Can come up with some other ideas for these things. Like what do we do for ablative? You know what I'm saying?
Like what kind of noun?
Like here's a hold on.
And you want these to be noun, not verb derived?
Here's something weird, man. I want you to look at this. We're gonna go to Turkish here. All right, here we go. Turkish case. There's something called the absolute indefinite accusative, which is really just the nominative and accusative, but they only use the accusative on things that are definite. The dative, right? But here's what I want you to look at. The locative is da, and then you know its other forms. It devoices next to voiceless things, and it has harmony. The ablative is da plus an n. The genitive is essentially an n, right? And they have this instrumental, but you'll see it's kind of like doesn't really get used a whole lot. But this is very funny to me.
So is it essentially the genitive of whatever the source of the locative is?
I have no idea, but it's, and if you look at the dative, it's also the low vowel thing there. So it's like if you look over here, cases in there, and these nouns, you got like na and da and don, and you have the n. Now n is also just used as a epenthetic consonant in Turkish. Anyway, so I was thinking of something like that, but.
And so are you asking like for ablative?
I'm just trying to figure out how you get it, you know?
Could be back or tail. If we're looking to go simple nouns.
Yeah. How does this work?
Could also be, I mean, if you, like some sort of like, well, we don't have a word for foot because that's really a classed form.
You walk towards the shadow of something and you're near it and you're walking away from it.
Assuming the sun is not behind the person that you're walking to, because then the shadow is facing you.
Yeah, it's like you got to be near the person, right? Otherwise, there are many ways where you walk towards the shadow, you're also walking towards the person. But if you're in the same spot and you walk towards their shadow, you're walking away from them no matter where it is, if you're next to them.
True.
Yeah. And it's not noon.
However, shadow could also be some sort of under or underneath, if that has a term.
Yeah, it does, but
Because at that point you would be looking more at like a tree shadow.
there are other ideas here. We have tracks and scent. Yeah, scent could also be near.
Yeah.
Here's an idea.
That's what it's called.
So if That's if so. The distinction would have to be on the verb.
Mm-hmm.
That's one possibility. The cat cucumber thing is actually fake. They're okay with cucumbers. It's the people that make the YouTube videos. They do it in such a way that the cats are scared. Which is not, yeah, it's not cool. They're actually okay with cucumbers. How will we do towards?
Overall, or like in this particular, because obviously
Overall.
allative we've got marked here as it could be face or chest.
Well, this one we're saying. It's on the verb. So if it's a verb of motion, it will be allative. If it's a verb, if it's other type of verb, it'd be locative. How do we do it up here?
Where it's
Here the idea, these are the same source, but one of them has a towards component and this one has a towards component. How do you do that? So far we're just stacking nouns for these. We got noun, which is a modifier of the next noun, which is a modifier of the next noun.
Well, if you wanted to stick with something like belly and mouth for inessive versus illative, like you have in the second option.
This one would just be three different ones, so like, yeah. So these would just be like
Right.
that.
But I'm asking, do you want to keep that same belly
No.
mouth? You want new?
What
Okay.
I want is something like, ta, tan, lay.
And okay.
Something like that. And so there's got to
Where
be.
they would be related.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting there.
Let's see.
What if, because if you're towards something, right, that indicates there's movement, there's some sort of like, the paw is doing something. What if in this case inessive is actually mouth, considering like the inside of the mouth, and then mouth paw is like you're putting something inside, so that's the illative?
That's an idea.
And then like a locative would be like chest, but then separate from paw, and then like chest paw together would be the allative, because you're using your paws to get closer.
Kind of like this. The only thing is, well, actually I kind of like that a lot. It's because it would have the same suffix. It would have this suffix.
Mm-hmm.
It could get further simplified and just be a Y, but
Right.
that's kind of a cool thing. And so, with something like this, here, efficient and how do you call this? Decomposable. Yeah.
So side note, Jake has made an interesting point here that scent could be some sort of delimitative as it marks one's territory. We could make, instead of having a whole case for it or anything, but like that could be like a fun sort of derivation, like scent is place and so location. Like the...
You know what, I'm going to write something down because I want to give this a whole lot of thought, but I'm just going to write it.
your territory with your scent. Oh my, that's nice.
Okay, this one.
Same con. Kind of puts the weight on another element of the sentence structure, clause structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're basically throwing that semantic weight onto something else.
Well, we could add to that fairly easily.
Mm-hmm.
How about on here?
There's also, at this point, we would have the ablative, but we wouldn't have the allative.
Yeah.
And that would be okay.
Probably have to duplicate.
Okay. Cupcake Parade, this essentially we're trying to figure out options for the
Yeah.
poll. It's going to be about cases, but we're trying to think through this time because there's no takebacks.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to essentially outline what the poll is going to be as closely as possible in the last 1 minute. With some time to think about it before we actually make the poll.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some joint discussions.
Yeah.
Since there's no takebacks.
I think this is a good place to stop.
I think so too. And I like where we're going. So far, I like the options. Thinking through like some examples, we may change a little something here or there, but so far I like how this is moving.
Yeah.
So, woo! All right. Well, thank you all for being here today. I'm super excited about where this is going, and I think David's all right with it.
Yeah, I'm just not, doing my best. So.
His excited face lately has been about this with a maybe slight half smile. That's all he can muster these days. But hopefully next week we get the full David experience. Stay grammar, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.